Hello, welcome back. I'm Camille.
And I'm Gretchen. We are starting over. We're back with you again today. Y'all, I know we're wearing the same thing.
What?
We're actually talking about something different.
That's
if
right.
you would like to sponsor us with wardrobe,
Oh, yeah.
we
That's a
could
good
do that.
idea.
But for now, you're getting the same clothes.
That's right.
Anyway, starting over, I really love talking about this subject with you because I learn a ton from Camille. I mean, I really think that's a wonderful gauge in finding a really good friend is what do you learn from them? Not what do you get from them, what do you learn from them, and you are literally a walking, I'm going to tell her this, y'all, and then she's going to throw out big words again, but you literally like a walking persona of wisdom.
Aww.
You have just lived a lot of life. And you have gained from other people, and you've used it in a way that has benefited you and now other people. You know what I'm saying?
I appreciate that. Thank you. Yeah. And I've learned so much from the people I've worked with, right? Yeah. And honestly, I mean, they come in with problems, and I want to find solutions with people. So I kind of feel like I've been inspired by that, really.
By the way, I think that's a good gauge when you're looking for somebody as a counselor or a therapist. Do they want to jump in and get into that muck and talk about it with you, or do they want to find a solution?
Yeah.
That's one good thing about you, Camille, is you listen,
but
then you're like, okay, my time. Now let's talk about how to make this better.
Yeah.
So that your people leave and they're like, okay, I actually feel like I didn't just unload, but I actually have a plan that's going to help me.
Absolutely. Well, yeah, because they can. I had a couple today actually, and they're like starting to fight. I'm like, y'all can do this when I'm not around. You're not paying somebody, okay? So don't fight anymore. Slow down, and let's look at really what you're not hearing. So I made them both articulate back and forth like what they're really going through, what they're really feeling. Not I'm mad at, I'm hurt by. Look at really what's driving that anger, right? So and that seems to be. And then they thank me later and text me thank you later. I only had a half hour. I'm like, y'all, you're going to waste your money and time here. So I made them really discuss their true feelings. And that's what's missing is some people just keep talking over each other and they can't hear. So, yeah, you're right. I do try to help people get to the heart of the truth. I want the truth out, whatever the truth is, because the truth sets you free.
And I think, that should be
the
in
truth
church.
Sets you free. It does. Truth sets you free.
I think a lot of times with situation and just life in general, people want to be heard.
Yes.
They don't necessarily want a solution. They just want to be heard.
Yeah.
Which
validation.
It's, y'all, that's the reason why there's so many talk shows.
That's true. That's true.
Why do you think the whole genesis of talk shows started? Because somebody wanted to be heard.
So true.
And then it got out of hand, and let's be honest.
Well, there's a lot, but I honestly want to be a contribution. Like I want there to be like there's people that want to be heard like a consumer. Like hear me, and that's how people have in relationships. They kind of do relationships that way. But if you're speaking and being a contribution to each other, then there's more of I'm learning something from what you're sharing, and you're sharing it to help improve their treatment of you and vice versa, so you can have a better relationship.
Something I've learned. I remember growing up, like if. We didn't talk a lot as a family, but when things got heated, it felt, and maybe this is just my child mind, but it felt like a lot was brought up from the past. Do you remember when you did that? You remember that? So that kind of set me on a trajectory of like, I don't want to talk. Like, I don't trust my feelings that I can actually talk about what's going on because I don't know where the boundaries are.
And it's going to get used against you.
And so, and that, I'm not blaming my parents. I just think that was kind of like the environment. And I think we as a society, we've kind of learned over the years, I'm 58. And so obviously I'm trying to teach my kids different ways of communicating now. But still, I do know with me, I would rather not have a fight than just spew and have to be right and talk. I would rather just let things go. But here's what I've learned, Camille. When it gets right down to it, I can't make anybody feel the way I feel.
No.
It's not my role. And it's not fair, right?
No.
So if my motive is to make sure that that person understands what I feel and they agree with me, I'm probably going to be disappointed.
Well, expectations are the root of all upset. Okay, so if you're expecting them to feel like you and think like you, you're right. You're going to be upset, 100%. That's exactly right. But what you're describing right here is when people are reminding you of when you effed up before and you hurt me before. Look, that's a grudge. So I think when people are like throwing things up from the past, they're holding a grudge because they haven't ever cleared that pain from the past. And so as soon as they can jab at you because they're upset and there's a big fight now, well, remember when? Because they're not over it. They haven't got over it. Well, how do you get over this kind of pain? How do you not hold a grudge and take it out onto somebody? Well, this is where you got to have some accountability, because if you're upset, it is your problem. Okay. And your partner, your person, your family member, your friend, they can't read your mind. So, and some people just, they grin and they bury it. They hold it in because they don't want to have a fight. They don't want to, they haven't had an effective way or effective teacher on how to really clear something. So you have to be ready to communicate. And so when I sit people down, I'm like, okay, look at each other, eye contact. You're ready to hear something you don't want to hear? Okay, ready? Go. And I make people hear hard things. We do hard things in my office. We hear hard things in my office because I want people to really get clear and honest about what's really going on. You can't get anywhere unless you know where people stand. You just have to know that, right?
Yeah.
So, and most people, the fighting is usually the common thing of triggering, and the past comes up. But the past is in the present. We live, for our past becomes our future because we don't ever get rid of it.
Yeah.
Makes sense?
Yeah.
And so, and that's not fair. It's like, and then you take your crap with you to the next relationship, right? So okay, and then you're going to take whatever garbage they've never cleared with their past partner is coming out on you, or it's going to come out on them. And this is where I come in, right?
Actually, I was thinking about this subject the other day because I was listening to this talk, and it doesn't even have to be about relationships. It could be like, I'm just not happy in this job.
Yes.
And so the speaker was like, well, what are you not happy about? And so this person went through, I don't like this and this and that. And basically the premise was, well, if you leave, until you clear those things up inside, you're going to find the same situation
every time
in another one. So with starting over, originally we wanted this to be about finding you before a relationship.
Yeah.
Because if you think that a new human body is going to be the newness and the new all and everything's going to be fine
for a little while,
but if you have hangups like you're talking about,
comes out,
and you don't clear it out and you don't figure out how to communicate or let it go or whatever that might be, you're going to bring that out.
Yes. Well, and that person's going to remind you of the ex, or you're going to remind them of the ex. And how do you deal with that, right? If you haven't stopped and processed what triggers, and look, I'm okay with you starting a new relationship because it's going to trigger you, and then get your butt into some sort of therapy or processing. You got to process what is going on. But this could be in any subject. Like I had a client today, he has not invoiced his clients for 3 months, and he's out of money. It's like, dude, you're not going to get paid until you send the invoices. I know. And so he's borrowing money, credit cards. I'm like, okay. So we're going to have a conversation. He's going to be doing his invoices. I'm going to be on the phone because he's out of the country. And I'm going to be asking him, what is the mood? What's coming up for you as you have to do your homework? And there's kind of a school story here. So it's a school story. He can't, math, he hates math. There's something about that that's blocking him from being able to pay his bills. Okay. And he's a phenomenal worker. But it's in every subject, y'all. If you have a past painful trauma or something from the past, it's going to get triggered in the moment. And if you can't be with that, you're going to be blocked. The block is right there. It happens in relationships, happens in jobs, happens in life.
Yeah. But it also goes back to what Camille and I have said on other podcasts before. Is you take your mood with you.
Yes.
So if you have a subject, and we're speaking of us too, so don't think we're like
we're never not in a mood. Everyone's always in a mood. Go ahead.
So whatever mood you're in will determine, what your outcome is. So in other words, if you're super pissed about something and you go confront somebody, you're probably not going to have a good outcome.
Correct.
We all know that. We've been there. We've all been there. And there have been times, even last week, I was in a moment, in a mood with somebody. I'm like, I know. This is not good for me. I know.
Time to avoid that.
But I got to go anyway. You know what I'm saying? So just kind of, you can pre-plan, and I'm sure you get the most benefit out of couples that are left that mood and are in a more workable mood together.
Well, and I kind of have to demand that because sometimes they'll come in and start bickering and fighting. I'm like, do this at home. Check yourself. And I put them in check. I kind of say, yeah, but you're kind of being an a-hole. Look at you right now, okay? I would be like scared of you, right? So I call people out. And then they go, all right, because I show them a little bit of a mirror. I say, here's where you're at. This is what's going to cause an effect. And how do you get her to do that? How do you get him to do that? Or vice versa. Right. This is what goes on. So you got to check yourself, people.
Check yourself.
Check yourself.
Starting over.
That's right.
And really, again, y'all, at the end of the day, when you're brushing your teeth, look yourself in the mirror. Look yourself in the eye. Look in your eyes. Don't look in your eyes and be like, oh, look at my wrinkles. No. look to see who you are. Look who's seeing you, looking back at you.
Yeah.
That's the person you want to love. That's the person you want to speak kindly to, because I promise you this, when you do that and you love on you first, then you have nothing but love to give to somebody else. You have nothing but pure intention, no conditions, none of that, because you're right with who you are.
Yeah.
But when you expect somebody else
That's right.
to love you in a way that takes care of the pain and takes care of the bad memories and takes care of problems, it never lasts.
No, it doesn't last. Well, and the truth is, you genuinely have within yourself the ability to heal yourself. And if you keep looking outside of yourself, like you're speaking about, you're not going to find the solution out there. It's going to come from within. So the moments of being with self, meditation, looking yourself in the mirror, just being present and feeling your feelings. You may have to go have a flip out. You may have to be angry. You may have to scream in your car. That's okay. But you're allowing yourself to get that stuff up and out. And talking to someone's also a good idea, because having that someone trying to fix you, you got to fix you, and you can. And this is what starting over is all about: is you can give yourself the grace and the love to be that divine, beautiful soul, and you can still be human and flawed, and you're worth it, and nothing's wrong with you, and you can have a great future to live into.
Yeah. Thanks everybody for being here. We'll see you next time.
Bye.